What's up, everyone? Week 1 of the college football 2025-26 season is upon us. Seems like it was just yesterday that we had the national championship between Ohio State and Notre Dame, but new season, new beginnings. Looking forward to it. Really excited to see how the season unfolds, guys. Got a lot of good games for you here in this video. Got 10 of them. So, not going to waste any time. Let's get right into it. And we're going to start with some action for tonight, Thursday, August 28th. Man, I just can't believe it. Let's get right to it, though. Nebraska versus Cincinnati is the first game I would like to talk to you guys about. Kickoff time tonight, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, of course, 9 p.m. Eastern. In Kansas City, Missouri, neutral site game. Nebraska sits as a 6.5-point favorite. Over-under is 51.5. It's going to be a nice night for the game. Talking temperatures in the mid-70s. Nebraska really looking to try and make one bigger leap this upcoming season with quarterback Dylan Raiola back into helm. They're going to try and, of course, up the rushing attack as well, along with trying to gel with the receivers more this season. Matt Rhule trying to continue to build this team as we know about. Nebraska's offense last year was definitely sputtering a lot at times. The defense really held their own, but we'll see if the defense this year can take one step further. They did lose defensive coordinator Tony White to Florida State. That could be a big loss for them. On the other side of the spectrum, Cincinnati, they're returning some key pieces on offense especially, but Scott Satterfield's got to get this team going this year. He could arguably be on the hot seat this season. Cincinnati's defense hasn't really been that great lately, but they hung tough last year at some of their games. But, man, ever since they joined the Big 12, they have really struggled. Could this be where Cincinnati maybe pulls off a shocker of an upset? Not quite. I have Nebraska winning, but it would not completely surprise me if Nebraska just somehow dropped this game, to be honest with you. It is week 1 of the college football season. A lot of things can happen. Really anything can happen. Of course, Brendan Sorsby coming back for Cincinnati's quarterback. Cincinnati's rushing attack, Corey Kiner's gone, but Evan Pryor will try to step up to the plate and really get things going. Cincinnati's rush attack could be something to watch out for, too. We'll see how this rolls. This should be hopefully a competitive game tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I will be watching it. So, again, that is tonight at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Going into Friday night, we have a Colorado versus Georgia Tech matchup at Folsom Field in Boulder, Colorado. Kickoff time of 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. There is a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Just want to note to you on that one. Currently, Georgia Tech is favored 4.5. That line's been going up in recent memory. Of course, according to my recent memory, I should say. Over under 51.5 again. Colorado lost Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh Sanders, and Travis Hunter to the NFL. But they brought in Caden Salter. And I want to say, a highly touted recruit, I believe, was Julian Lewis. Caden Salter, for those who don't know, was at Liberty. He had performed very well over there. They had a little bit of a weird season last year. Liberty did, but we'll see what Colorado can do. Colorado's run defense last year improved to an extent, but that secondary is a question in my opinion. Georgia Tech could be a top 25 team this season. We'll see. Haynes Keene's got to stay healthy. This team in general just needs to stay healthy. They could be a physical team. Haynes King could really have a big year this season. It's all going to depend on if health can be of good order and if they can just continue to play physical and challenge these bigger teams down the stretch. I actually like Georgia Tech here to win this game. I think they might win by double digits. Colorado, I think they're going to take some steps backwards this year, but we'll see. Maybe they make a bowl game. Who knows? This will be one of the more interesting teams to keep an eye on this season. I'm sure that a lot of people are counting out Colorado, of course, and not making a bowl game even. We'll see. Again, anything can happen week 1. I'm sure the atmosphere at Colorado will be tremendous, but Georgia Tech really would like to have another good start to the season like they did last year against Florida State and Dublin for all that, of course. Here's a good one right here, folks. Big early season game here. I have had my eye on this one for months. Baylor hosting Auburn. This is an SEC versus Big 12 matchup. Kickoff of 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It's going to be hot and very humid down there. Of course, people living down there long enough, that doesn't matter to them. There's a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms early in the game, I would say. Early, closer towards kickoff. Auburn is a 2.5-point favorite. I think the wrong team is favored. I don't think they should be favored. But then again, though, They're favored, I would say, more or less because of the name, the brand, and also on paper, Auburn is technically the better team in terms of the talent level. But they got some questions to answer. Hugh Freeze, I don't exactly like him as head coach. He can recruit, but with game planning and all of that, he's not exactly been the best. They brought in Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold is absolute ass at times last year. He got benched at Oklahoma. I don't know what to expect this year with Auburn. And Hank Brown went to Iowa. Baylor is looking to really make a statement this year. A lot of people are really hyping up on Baylor. We need to be careful about that because, remember, Dave Aranda has struggled with this team considerably for the last couple of years. But the second half of last year, Baylor really turned things around, and they won like 5 straight to finish the season. That offense was cooking. Their defense was playing better. But the Baylor secondary does remain my question mark. We'll see if the pass rush can get to Jackson Arnold. Apparently, the Auburn offensive line has retooled. Auburn has really tried to retool this season, especially. The receiving core for Auburn is arguably top 5 in the country. Auburn's defense will try to continue to make statements this year as well. But, man, Baylor, that offense could really get going. Sawyer Robinson, one of the quarterbacks I would watch out for this season. Over under 58.5. Man, that's a tough one because if you're betting the over, you really have to rely on Jackson Arnold having a good game. A lot of people are picking Baylor, which is driving me insane because that's making Baylor a public underdog. And the line's only gone up for Auburn, but man, I don't trust Auburn. Give me Baylor. I guess I'm going to hop on with the public underdog train. I was about to switch my pick, but you know what? Sometimes you just need to see things for how it is. I think the inconsistency with Jackson Arnold will still rear its ugly head. But then again, if Auburn wins the game, I will not be completely shocked. Matter of fact, I will acknowledge Auburn the next time I talk about him in one of these videos and praise them for them winning the game. But we'll see. This will be exciting on Fox. I also heard, too, recently that YouTube TV and Fox or whatever, they reached a short-term agreement. So thankfully that is the case because there's a lot of people who were not too happy hearing about the potential for losing this game Friday night. Move to Saturday. Got a lot of great weekend action for Labor Day weekend. It's going to be fun. I'm so excited. Let's start talking about, let's start with the Saturday action here. Number 24, Tennessee versus Syracuse. Kickoff at noon in Atlanta, Georgia. They're playing in an indoor stadium, so no forecast provided for that. At part of the Aflac Kickoff Series, Tennessee's favored pretty much 2 touchdowns. The over-under is only 50.5. That keeps dropping, interestingly enough. Tennessee, I feel like, is arguably the biggest enigma this year in terms of just among the Power 4 conference teams. What are we getting from this team this year? I have no idea. They got Joey Aguilar. He had actually, I think, led the nation in interceptions last season, but I will say on both sides of the ball, I worry Tennessee will be a little bit worse. They did lose their top defensive star, James Pierce, to the draft. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. They also lost Dylan Sampson. But, here's the thing, though. With a coach like Josh Heupel, at least you got to instill some trust in him because he's one of the best offensive minds, or he has one of the best offensive minds in the sport. Syracuse lost Kyle McCord. Syracuse had one of the, arguably the best passing attack last season, up there with Miami's last year. And Syracuse was definitely doing some damage. Remember, they did pull off the upset against Miami and ruin their college football playoff hopes. Fran Brown now is going to have to try and restructure things with this team. In order for Tennessee, I think, to win this game comfortably, they need to control it with their own tempo. If they let Syracuse drain the clock, this could get ugly for Tennessee, but I still think Tennessee wins. I'm not sure if they cover the 13.5. That might be a stretch, but in my opinion, Tennessee should try to not throw everything into the kitchen sink against Syracuse. Save your best for later, obviously. They got Georgia coming up in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a monstrous game at Knoxville, Tennessee, so that would be crazy. I'll definitely be talking about that one when we get to it. But again, I think the Volunteers get off to a good start to the season. Now, biggest game of the weekend here, no question. Number 3, Ohio State versus number 1, Texas. A lot of talk about this, a lot of buzz. Lee Corso's final game day, or I believe, final game day here. The final time he's going to put the mascot on his head to predict who he thinks wins the game. Incredible career for Lee Corso. He's retiring, of course. But also a rematch of the semifinal from January 10th, or earlier this year, where Ohio State won after basically stripping the ball away from Quinn Ewers. Jack Sawyer did that, and eventually led to a 14-point win for Ohio State en route to winning the national title. Ohio State is currently a 1.5 point favorite. This is big noon kickoff. Beautiful forecast. Could not be much better weather for late August standards in Columbus, Ohio. Even, of course, we've had that kind of weather here in central Indiana. I have some questions about both teams this year. Ohio State did lose a few key pieces. They lost both their running backs, I believe. You got new quarterback Julian Sayin. You got to kind of retool the defense a little bit. Could Ohio State be in a little bit of trouble against a team that is definitely on the powerful side with Texas? But Texas, though, I mean, Arch Manning, this is his biggest game by far, and you're starting the season off going to this kind of environment. Oh, Lord, that's a spell for potential disaster. Now, Steve Sarkisian, I do trust him to an extent, but in bigger games, I have not been able to. If you recall my official playoff prediction video, late last year, I had Texas losing to Ohio State because I just couldn't trust Texas in the heat of the moment. The Texas defensive line will be a focus, especially in the trenches. Just say the overall, the trenches will be a big focus here because whoever can dominate there, I feel like will end up probably winning the game. Got to really focus on protecting the QBs here. That's really, really important. This will be I feel like this is going to be a lower scoring game here, but there could be a decent amount of offense at times. Of course, you got Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in college football. Texas, of course, usually brings agility, speed to the mix. That really makes it harder for you to stop Texas. Physical game here, no doubt. I am leaning towards Ohio State to win. There are some people who like Texas, but if this is at Texas, I would no doubt pick Texas. I think this is more of a situation of who's at home here, and it's Ohio State. But I can see a scenario where Texas definitely wins this game. It's a coin flip either which way. Have fun watching this game. It'll be a great slugfest, I think. Could it be higher scoring? Sure, but it's going to be tougher for that to occur. Next game. Oh, brother, we got to talk about this game. Yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the ever so lovely Florida State Seminoles against number 8 Alabama. If you want to really me be honest, I mean, okay, telling Florida State, hey, let's have a big rebound this year. Who do you start the season against? The Crimson Tide? What? Yeah, this is quite the perplexing game here. Kickoff at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Alabama's favored nearly 2 touchdowns. Now, I will mention to you, the forecast is important for this one. It is really, really important because it's looking like there's going to be some showers and storms at times potentially. And it's going to be on the warmer side, but there could be some heavy rain during this game, which could drastically alter things for both teams. Florida State, horrendous year last year, one of the worst in school history last year. Mike Norvell really trying to retool things completely. I'm not totally a big guy. I'm not totally big on Thomas Castellanos. His quarterback, he's been talking a lot of trash about Alabama recently. I don't like that either. They got Royal Williams in the backfield. They brought in a number of key pieces on offense and defense, including defensive coordinator from Nebraska, Tony White. Alabama had Kalen DeBoer had brought in his offensive coordinator from, I believe, Washington. So they're going to definitely go more of the route of how Kalen DeBoer operated things at Washington 2 years ago when they won the national title, and just overall this time there because Kalen DeBoer loves the air raid attack, kind of passing style attack. Ty Simpson will be the starter, and Ty Simpson could definitely elevate this offense further than Jalen Milroe did. Ty Simpson's got could potentially be a great passer. He can also be a dual threat QB. The running game is going to have to start getting going too, in my opinion, more because Alabama was arguably at times, I don't want to say one-dimensional because of the dual threat capability of Jalen Milroe, but man, their running backs at times just, I don't know. Alabama's defense was uncharacteristical at times last year. I feel like some people tend to forget about that. In usual Alabama standard, their defense is one of the best in the country. This seems like a trap for Alabama, though. I'm not going to lie. Florida State, Norvell is an underdog. Usually he over-exceeds expectation in these types of games from what I read. Now, I will tell you, I'm not going to be stupid here. I am taking Alabama. But I can see this being pretty close. Florida State has nothing to lose, in my opinion. Well, they do have something to lose, and it could be their coach if Mike Norvell doesn't get this team going this year. But the thing is, Alabama has a ton of pressure on them this season. This is a season where DeBoer needs to make a statement. This could be a national championship contender. Florida State's just trying to really ramp back up things in the right direction after having an awful season. So I feel like Florida State, with a sold-out crowd, renovated though at Campbell Stadium, they're going to come out the gate loose. Alabama might be more nervous, but you know what? Again, I have Alabama winning, but this could be scary close. We'll see. All right, moving forward. Number 4, Clemson. Number 9, LSU at Death Valley. This will be a tremendous Saturday night matchup. There's a chance for some scattered showers and storms. It ain't looking like a washout right now for the Clemson game. Clemson's up to a 4.5-point favorite. Two of the best quarterbacks in college football facing off here between Heisman frontrunner potential Cade Klubnik and one of the other potential Heisman candidates in Garrett Nussmeier. Clemson could be one of the most dangerous teams this season if they get their defense fixed right. Dabo Swinney's got to get that rolling, man. The offense took huge strides last year. You saw it. Cade Klubnik, when the receivers had a tremendous year last season. Now, Phil Moffitt's gone. That's a little bit concerning because you got to get something going with the run game, too, to balance things out and not be like TCU and be one-dimensional every freaking week with Josh Hoover. We'll talk about TCU in a little bit, but Clemson here could be a front runner for being a national title contender. They are, I think, predicted to win the ACC. It would make sense, of course, too, with them being ranked number 4 in the country. Some people would say it's a little high, too, which I kind of agree with. LSU, I'll tell you what, LSU is 0-5 in their last 5 season openers. And Brian Kelly, this is a season where he's got to put up a shove time for Brian Kelly. The LSU's offense, I don't have much issue with. It's their defense. Their defense has not been very good in the last couple of years. I mean, at times last year it seemed like they were making some strides, but man, this has got to be the season LSU finds it all together. Brian Kelly's got to get it going, or he could be in serious trouble, and I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. This is a tough ask to go into Clemson. Clemson at night is just one of the hardest places to play. It's almost as tough as playing at LSU at night. Thriller of a game here. I actually think LSU will keep this game close. 4.5 for Clemson might be a little bit much. Maybe worth taking the points with LSU, but I like Clemson to win this game outright. Fun one here. This could be a rematch in playoffs. You never know. All right, Sunday action here. Number 13, South Carolina and Virginia Tech. This is a 3 p.m. kickoff at Atlanta, Georgia. So just like similar to Tennessee, Syracuse, this will be played at the same stadium that this game is going to be played at. Part of the Aflac kickoff series. South Carolina, 7.5-point favorite. Is that a little bit too much? It's possible. South Carolina looking to try and really build on the magic of their season last season with Lenore Sellers and that defensive capacity. We'll see if they can keep rolling with this. South Carolina might arguably be ranked a little bit too high potentially as well. Virginia Tech is a team that they have got to do something this year. They brought back Kyron Drones. They brought back some players. But one of their players did just get arrested on the defensive side. That's not good either from what I heard. So we'll see how that goes with what ends up becoming of that. But if the player is going to play at some point, but whatever. I don't know. I haven't followed up on it yet. But back to this, though. This could be a peculiar game. Could this be a trap game for South Carolina? Yes, it could be. Could they be walking into this game with too much of an ego? Yes, it's possible. I mean, this is a tough one. Virginia Tech's definitely going to cause some issues for South Carolina. I still think the Gamecocks win, but 7.5, maybe Virginia Tech is going to bring their A game to start the season. We'll see. I don't know. 7.5, that's a tricky number. Not a whole lot to say about this one. This one feels a little weird to me. I will be kind of shocked if South Carolina loses. But then again, you know what? Like I said, it's week 1. You never know. All right, we need to speed things up a little bit. Number 10, Miami versus number 6, Notre Dame. Oh Lord, this is a big game. A lot of people are talking about this one too. Sunday night at Miami Gardens. The Aflac kickoff thing there, that is incorrect, I believe. I'm not totally sure. I don't know if I meant to put that there or not, but I'll look real quick as I talk about this. Notre Dame has sat steady. Yes, sat steady at a 2.5-point favorite. As a 2.5-point favorite. No, Aflac kickoff should not be there. I apologize. That's what I thought. But either which way, Notre Dame coming off of being a national runner-up. C.J. Carr will be the starter for this team. This is a tough ask, though, for a quarterback for him to make this kind of start on the road. the Notre Dame defense is not really something I question too much just because their defense is always there. Marcus Freeman's, of course, just trying to get this team just staying strong as well. Miami, I have a number of questions for Miami. That defense needs to get better, and I'm not sure if they're going to be much better this year. But that Miami offense definitely is something to where it could still stay potent. Carson Beck coming in from Georgia. But they lost Damian Martinez. They lost their original tight end to the draft. So they got to bring in new pieces, of course. And Miami really needs to make sure that they can really fire on all cylinders, though. There is a chance for some showers and storms. It's going to be warm, of course. Not shocking in Miami with high humidity, too. But this seems like a tricky game here. Notre Dame hasn't exactly fared well in Miami. Excuse me. So I am I one of the few? I don't know. I feel like there's a bit of mixed opinion on who wins this game. I might pay for this, but I think Miami stuns Notre Dame in Miami Gardens. I think Miami wins this game outright. I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest with you. I just have a feeling they're going to do it. I feel like with the more experienced offense on Miami, I feel like they can use that to their advantage, but they're going to have to get strong out the gate, get going out the gate strong early, limit turnovers. If you can limit your turnovers, you have a good chance of beating Notre Dame. You just got to be careful with that as well. So tough one here. It could go either way. I was thinking about going Notre Dame, but I'm like, you know what? Not in this spot. This is a tough spot for him. Final game to talk about on Labor Day night. How about this? North Carolina, Bill Belichick debut as head coach in college football against TCU. Okay, this is a really weird game. This kind of reminds me of TCU Colorado from 2 years ago, okay? It does. When TCU started the season, Randy coming off of that being a national runner-up, and TCU lost outright at Colorado, 45-42. That was a wild game. I remember that to this day, like it was no tomorrow. North Carolina had to flip the roster quite a bit. I believe they're starting Gio Lopez as quarterback. What are we getting from North Carolina? There is not much to really there's just so much unknown with North Carolina. TCU, at least we kind of know what we're getting to an extent. With Sonny Dykes at the helm, this is a tough one. This could be a shootout. This could be a blowout. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to tell you this. I am going TCU. I'm not fairly confident in this pick. I almost wanted to go North Carolina just because of just the thing of how do you game plan against North Carolina? How do you game plan against this team? You don't exactly know what you're getting. Bill Belichick, of course, having also the capability of putting together a very good defense. I just don't know. Josh Hoover TCU is a one-dimensional team on offense. Josh Hoover, he can throw for a bunch, but he can also throw a bunch of interceptions. TCU has got to stay away from turnovers. If they turn it over a couple times in this game, that could be the difference between them losing and North Carolina winning. But thank you guys for watching for these picks. I might switch this pick. You never know. I have a right to switch this pick. If I don't switch it by Monday, then the pick's official, in my opinion. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, this is forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, this is my new sports channel. My main channel will be in the link in the description below in case you want to know more about what my main channel is about. I used to do sports videos over there, but to try and help with differentiating the overall audience and what they are, for them to know what they're getting, I made this channel specifically for mainly sports. Expect more content on here. I hope you guys tune in each and every week for my picks. Even if there's some weeks in the mix where I don't do as well, I'm trying my best for you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let's have a great 2025 season. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.